Midsommar is a new movie written and directed by Ari Aster, and this film stars Florence Pugh and Jack Reynor. Midsommar revolves around this woman named Dani who's just suffered a family tragedy, and she decides to go to Sweden along with her boyfriend and friends. So they went to this festival called Midsommar, and they see these local people there, and they start to hang out with these local people. These local people live like off the grid type area that sort of looks like kind of prairie with lots of vegetation and plants and trees everywhere. Pretty much every day, all of them just dance around in circles and say, hoo-ha, 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 hoo-ha. It's so peaceful, and it has so much harmony, and to the point that it's disturbing. But when the local people start to show their true nature and things start to get a little bit disturbing, we have our movie Midsommar. Ari Aster is a man that directed Hereditary, and I just instantly fell in love. The way he directed Hereditary was just one of the weirdest and most fascinating directing styles I have ever seen in cinema. The way he directed a few scenes in Hereditary, he directed the movie in the wide shot, but he had the camera upside down. He was filming in that angle, but while he was filming it upside down, he was zooming out in frame. He used the same directing style in this movie as well. And one of the best things about this movie is, on a visual standpoint, and a technical standpoint, this is by far one of the best directed movies I've seen this year. And on the visual standpoint, it's just completely glossy and just in-depth visuals that is really beautiful. The scenery visually is stunning. It's almost equivalent as watching a wallpaper. You can have it on your wallpaper on your computer or laptop, cell phone. It is just complete Isaacs. The best way to go deeper into it without going to spoilers, I had to go deeper into the characters. This movie revolves around Florence Pugh's character, Dani, and she suffered a massive loss. She lost her family, and she's dealing with that throughout this movie. And that was one of the issues I had with this movie, where that's where the story felt a little bit incomplete. It didn't connect with the true narrative of this movie. The way her family died, it was in an awkward and interesting way. And the film develops that to get the audience into the main character's emotion, but the film doesn't touch base on that subject, and it just kind of avoids it, and it just gives it bits and pieces through flashback scenes, but it doesn't really connect with the narrative properly. And that was an interesting concept, because they set that up in the first 20 minutes of the film, and then right in the 30 mark, the theme of the whole entire movie switched into a different theme, where the second theme of the movie, it focused more on social dependency and relationships. Not necessarily toxic relationships. They have an actual relationship. It's just there are certain things or certain qualities in relationships that's not really perfect. Don't really know their own problems that they have in their relationship, but yet they're aware that it's there, but they just don't know how to address it. But I wouldn't say it's scary or graphic. I would say it's disturbing, and I would consider this more of a psychological thriller. I can't really put my finger on it, but this movie was actually funny in a weird sense of way. I felt like they were intentionally trying to be funny, and some of it worked, and some of it felt a little bit cringy. Now, outside of the story, the performances did a fantastic job. Like Florence Pugh, she plays Dani, the main character of this movie. Florence Pugh, oh my goodness, her performance was unrecognizable. She really did a phenomenal job of really executing that emotion, where I actually felt some type of way of watching her perform. Florence Pugh was a standout in this movie. She is the highlight. She's the main thing that really elevated this movie to new heights. Jack Reynor. He played the boyfriend in this movie. I don't want to go in full details without going into spoilers with his character. Me personally, I don't like Jack Reynor as an actor. I don't even know why he's acting. But I have to say that this performance in this movie was probably the best performance he ever had in his career. To me, all the other performances outside the main characters, they also did a good job as well. It's just they didn't really do much character build-up. I felt like they were real characters, but I just felt like their characters were disposable. They didn't really have much substance to the movie itself on an emotional standpoint. They were just there to be there, I felt like. And the film had opportunity to at least give up some character build-up and character development. In the first 20 minutes, the theme of the movie was focusing on grief. And I felt like their writing revolving around that wasn't executed well. And there's another film that Ari Aster directed last year, which was Hereditary, and I felt like Hereditary did a better job of showcasing horrors revolving around grief. Midsommar, when the film focuses on a social dependency in relationships and stuff like that, that's when the film gets better. It gets interesting, it gets creepy, disturbing. I felt a little bit uneasy, a little bit unhinged, but not as gory as I thought it would be. On the technical standpoint, the directing style, the color palette, the visuals, the cinematography is just amazing. There's a plot point that doesn't get connected at all with the narrative, and I just feel like, why wasn't it left out? The movie was long enough for Ari Aster to at least connect the grief aspect in this film. So therefore, this movie would have more of a balanced viewpoint if you're presenting a theme. Overall, Midsommar is a psychological thriller revolving around relationships. Digs deep into the horror nature of being manipulated or lack of communication. The movie is very slow and it has that slow burn, and I really do like that long slow burn, as long as the story is presented. But the film's presentation wasn't presented in a good shape of value, and that was the main issue with this movie. But outside of that, this movie is a good film, and I recommend you check it out and go see it in theaters. I don't know how you feel about this, because I love Hereditary. A lot of people don't like it, but I just leave it up to you guys. But for me, I'm going to give Midsommar a Christian Bale Batman. This is a movie I would buy on Blu-ray. Ari Aster is still a good director. I'm still a fan of his, but I feel like this is an inferior film if you compare this film to Hereditary. But you still got it. But on a story standpoint, you need to make things come full circle. Alright guys, that's my review of Midsommar. Have you seen Midsommar? What are your thoughts of Midsommar? And give me your thoughts and comment below. And if you have seen Midsommar and you have some theories you want to point out, definitely share them below and let's talk about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.